Morning, everybody. We're continuing our look into the book of Colossians today. We're going to be in Colossians chapter 1, verse 21. It says, "For once you were alienated from God and were enemies in your minds because of your evil behavior, but now he has reconciled you by Christ's physical body through death to present you holy in his sight without blemish and free from accusation. If you continue in your faith, established and firm, and do not move from the hope held out in the gospel, this is the gospel that you heard and that has been proclaimed to every creature under heaven, and of which I have become a servant." A couple of days ago, we talked about how God rescued us, and I likened that to the action movies of today, going behind enemy lines and rescuing your friends. But as we read the scripture, Paul says that not only did he rescue us, but he rescued his enemies. We were at one point his enemies, and he still came down and put on human flesh to go and to save us, to rescue us. Now, you would do anything for your friends and your family, but what about your enemies, right? But Christ didn't make that distinction. He said, "This is my child first." Yes, they may have made mistakes. The wages of sin is death, and we know that everyone sins and falls short of the glory of God. But we also know that while we were still sinners, Romans 5:8 tells us Christ died for us. Even when we were still his enemy, he crossed over. He went on that rescue mission to save us and to bring us back to him. And not only did he rescue us, but he even went a step further. It says here, he made us holy in his sight without blemish and free from accusation. Not only did he take us out of our sinful nature, but he made us holy. He made us without blemish. He made us free from accusation. The enemy would like to remind us that we are trash, we are garbage. And Paul says if you hold on to your faith, if you hold on to the hope of the gospel, this is what awaits you. And the enemy right now, he's pulling at people: strife, envy, discord, gossip, slander, all sorts of stuff. I mean, you can't turn on the news, you can't turn on social media without seeing that. The enemy is at work, and he's going hard. And I think sometimes we make it a little bit too easy on him. But Paul is saying, look, if you hold on to that hope, if you hold on to the fact that you were once an enemy, Christ rescued you while you were still an enemy, and he makes you holy. If we can hold on to that, then there's hope. That there's more to this life. There's a gospel that needs to be preached, and it's up to us to preach that. Paul ends this section by saying, "I have become a servant of this gospel." No one knows that transaction better than Paul. If there was anybody who was an enemy of Christ, it was Paul. And if there's anybody who was made free, it was Paul. It says, now, because of that great grace that God has given me, I am a servant of that gospel, and I got to tell people about it. And I pray that you got to tell people about it too. When you realized how far Christ went for you to bring you back, to make you holy, that's what calls us to be a servant. May God be with you today. I'm praying for you. Keep on keeping on, church, and we'll talk to you later.